Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here, welcome back to the channel for another update on JASMY. So, the bullish divergence that we talked about on JASMY playing out 1 month ago has finally completed. Here's what happens next for JASMY. So, as we were discussing 1 month ago, as you can see over on the JASMY chart, we were forming this bullish divergence where the price action was breaking down lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. And if we come over to some of the oscillators, you could see these oscillators were grinding up and making higher highs, indicative of bullish divergence. Now, after we had that bullish divergence, you can see we massively took off. We went on quite a big rally recently in the past month or so, up 71.5%. If we do draw out this RSI chart, you can see we have now tanked beneath the trend line, wiping out a few of these data points. So the bullish divergence is now complete on JASMY. Here's what happens in the higher time frames. Well, what's happening in the higher time frames is unchanged from our previous videos, as you can still see these massive data points up here that we put in over on February. These still mark the highs. You are making lower highs at this moment in time. In fact, if we do draw a Fibonacci from the swing high up at these highs down to the most recent swing low, what you can see is that JASMY rallied all the way back up into the golden ratio between the 786 Fibonacci and the 618 Fibonacci. We had most of our candle body closes right on the resistance of the 618. We had a few wicks to the upside, almost touching the 786 Fibonacci, but really, this is where the golden ratio was. We reverted right back into this and we made a lower high and we're starting to move down. A lot of the charts that we have been keeping up to date on are really unchanged in the higher time frames. If we are looking at this range that we've been trading in, established on the 31st of October, the low established down here on the 9th of November, you can see that we've spent 90% of our time trading within this range. We had a few data points outside of this range, but for the most part, we spent 95% of the time trading within this range. And as you can see, every single time we've had a SFP pattern, a swing failure pattern outside of this range. So you can see this was the range low. We had a swing failure pattern. This was a failed move equals a fast move in the opposite direction. From this move on the low here, you can see that we put in about a 2x rally. We then had a range high deviation where you can see the range high was up here. We had a swing failure pattern, and from the high up here, we pushed all the way down about 48%. We then pushed back up to the upside. You can see that we're making lower highs right now after reverting into that golden ratio and getting rejected, and JASMY is moving down. Looking at these data points, the most conservative move we've had so far is a 48% move after getting rejected at the top of this range. And if we are looking at how much JASMY has moved in the past week or so, we're only down about 20%. So if this is going to repeat, even if we're only going to put in about another 48% drop to the downside, you can definitely see JASMY returning to the high 0.003 region, or potentially, down to the 0.004 region. Nonetheless, that's just an approximation. I really see us coming down into this big zone down here. Really 0.005 is the next major target to keep your eyes on. So for the higher time frames, as you can see, really nothing has changed in our picture for JASMY. If we are looking at JASMY BTC, I've had to put this on a line graph because for some reason, every JASMY BTC chart, the candles are absolutely abysmal. What you can see playing out for JASMY BTC right now is since we made new bear market lows coming into late March, early April. If we zoom out, you can see while JASMY's been having a nice rally against the US dollar, it's been getting absolutely obliterated against Bitcoin. Now, for the past 2 weeks or so, past 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, we've been having a nice rally to the upside, like we talked about as this bullish divergence played out for JASMY. But now this bullish divergence is complete, what can we expect for JASMY USD and JASMY BTC? Looking at JASMY BTC, we are not looking too good right now from the high down to the low. You can see we didn't even make it into the golden ratio and we're already showing extreme weakness. We do have a rather significant bear flag playing out at this moment in time for JASMY. If we are looking at a price target of the breakdown on the JASMY BTC ratio, we could potentially see JASMY drop about another 56% against Bitcoin. This would not be surprising if you do keep up to date on my channel, and if you do look at all of my videos, you know that Bitcoin is looking extremely strong against altcoins right now. In fact, the Bitcoin dominance is forming a bull flag. We come over to the total cryptocurrency market cap, so this is all the altcoins plus Bitcoin. You can see We did have a major rejection in the past week from the macro 618 Fibonacci, but for the altcoin market, we didn't even make it up here before we had that brutal rejection. So love it or hate it, most altcoins are getting obliterated against their Bitcoin pairs right now, and JASMY BTC does not look any different. It looks like it's setting up a pretty significant move right now with a price target down about a 55% drop. If we are moving on to our higher time frame charts for JASMY, weekly time frame, looking at the oscillators, the MFI is still super overextended. We obviously topped out quite recently at 91 in early February. We have been making lower highs since then. The oscillators have been bleeding down, letting us know continuation is coming. We haven't even had the weekly MACD flip bearish yet. The squeeze momentum indicator on the weekly is starting to tick into dark green, indicative that next breakdown is happening. And in the past 24 hours, we actually had the stochastic RSI fire a bearish flip. Now, the last time we had a bearish flip over on the stochastic RSI, this yielded about a 41% drop to the downside after a minor dead cat bounce. So right now things are not looking good for JASMY. I have just recorded a video for Bitcoin in the S&P 500. For the S&P 500, we just put in a bearish MACD cross on the daily time frame, and Bitcoin has also just put in a weekly bearish cross over on the stochastic RSI. I will be posting that video on my channel, so if you want some more thoughts on the markets outside of just what is happening in JASMY, do bear in mind on my channel I cover altcoins, I have an educational series, I cover Bitcoin, I cover the S&P 500. We cover quite a lot on this channel outside of just what's happening on JASMY. I don't make daily and I don't make weekly updates on these altcoins anymore. I just make them every now and then whenever I see something major happening, and now I see this major stochastic RSI flip on JASMY. This is why I'm back recording a new video to let you know that that next major move is coming. We talked about the bullish divergence grinding up for JASMY. That is now complete. What we now have is multiple indicators and oscillators crossing bearish, letting us know we're about to move to the downside. Like we said, higher time frames, nothing's changed as long as we stay beneath this region right here, 0.0082, then this beautiful Elliott wave count that we've got going on is going to still be playing out. As you can see, we had that major ABC bounce on the weekly. Now we're in a new 1, 2, 3, 4. We've kind of just double topped out on wave 4 at this moment in time. And if we are going to get that further continuation, we should be coming all the way down to wave 5. Now, what is my specific price target for wave 5? Before we do talk about that, I want to show you one final thought on why JASMY is not looking too good right now. We obviously talked about from the most recent swing high down to the swing low that we've got rejected from the 618 Fibonacci, the 786 Fibonacci. If we look at this swing high up here, you can see our first rejection on this kind of double top. As you can see on most exchanges, we did make a lower high with this, but the first top that we made in early February, we got rejected from the 618 Fibonacci, from this swing high down to this swing low. Now, if we look at the Fibonacci from just before we went on this massive parabola to the downside, and we look at this swing low to swing high. In fact, I originally think I actually had it drew up here. Yeah, this is what I was drawing from this data point instead of this data point. You can see that we've beautifully rejected in the past week or so from this 618 Fibonacci, and we are getting continuation back down. This looks like a confirmation to me that we should be starting to move back down for the markets. We've had some touch points all the way down on these lows quite recently. In fact, we can actually drag this range out to touch points back here. This was support, this was resistance, this was resistance, flipped to support, this was support, we went on a rally. But right now, it's looking to me like we are forming an M pattern. If we look at the price target for this M pattern, you could see in the immediate short term, in the next month or so, I'd say the immediate short term, this is on the weekly time frame, this could really take another month or two to play out. We could be expecting new bear market lows for JASMY down at 0.002. But in the higher time frames, what I really expect is this price target right down here. The major Fibonacci's that we've drawn have 1.236 extensions all the way down at these regions at 0.0015, 0.0014, and of course the psychological target down here, 0.001. This is where I think JASMY's coming to. If we look at the price targets for this, you can see we could be on a conservative basis, having about a 74% drop. If you are a little bit more brutal and bearish right now, we may drop about another 83% for the markets down to 0.001. So that's all I've got for you today, my friends. As always, if you do enjoy my content, let me know down below by leaving a like and a comment. Share the videos with your friends. If you want to further support the channel, feel free to click the join button and become a member today. Make sure to follow me over on Twitter at 618_cowboy. I'll leave it here. It's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I'm out. Peace.